Welcome to the Practical Pet Parenting Podcast, where science and research meets simplicity, practicality, and humor. Because we all know that pet parenting isn't just one thing. It's magical, beautiful, life-changing, frustrating, and overwhelming all at the same time. I'm Dr. Ashita Suresh, a vet, a mom, a dog mom, on the multiple species pet parenting journey just like so many of you. Join me as we cut through the noise, fear, and fluff and take pet parenting from overwhelming to, barely manageable. Whether you have a young puppy or a stately adult with his training days well behind him, you know that training is often not the glamorous process that you imagined it to be. While our pups are eager to please, they are also young, easily distracted, and sometimes just stubborn in their own nature. But this doesn't mean that they aren't moldable. Not at all. With consistency, patience, and a lot of treats, the process can be stimulating, enjoyable, and rewarding for both parties. That said, here are 5 things you need to remember when you're training your puppy. First up is that all puppies need training. Now, while a house pet does not necessarily need to stand on their hind legs and give you a high five, especially for the ones with Dachshunds, please don't do this. All puppies need to at least know their name, the word come, and the word no. They need to at least look at you when you say these things and know that you are addressing them. Fortunately, these are things that most puppies pick up when you just speak to them enough. Second is that attention is attention. Whether you are rewarding or yelling, it's literally the same to them. Look at it this way, right? When your puppy is running away with your socks and you grab it from them and yell at them, you still stopped and looked their way, which is what they wanted. Now, I'm not telling you to just let them wreak havoc in the house, but when they do things like this, the best strategies are either taking it away with as minimal fuss as possible or redirecting their energies to what they can chew, what they can take away, and giving them treats when they pick up their own things instead of ours. When you follow the principle of overly rewarding good behavior and doing as little as possible with bad behavior, training makes so much sense to you and to them. Third, you are always training them. Like it or not, whether you know it or not, they are watching how you respond to everything they do and learning what works for them. So if you give them food every time they make puppy eyes, they have been trained to do so because it works for them. If you take them out because they stand near the leash, then guess what you'll see more of anytime they want to be taken out. Bottom line, it's important to be very intentional with how you respond to your puppy so that you train them and not the other way around. Fourth, and probably the most important thing you can take away today, is that fear is never the answer. You might think that scaring or even hitting them works to stop something undesirable, but in reality, all it does is make them freeze and their anxiety and their fear levels go up. And trust me when I say this, a scared dog is an unpredictable dog. You don't know what they're going to do. They don't know what they're going to do. This is when the chances of attacks and bites go up because they go into self-defense mode. So whatever you do, do not use fear as a training tactic. And lastly, sometimes it's best left to the professionals. Some dogs need more than what we can do at home. This is especially the case in large breeds where the stakes are higher. Large breeds need perfect recall and obedience simply for the sake of safety. You can't have them running around and jumping on children or old people in the house because it's a huge risk for injury for the people, and a way to control them and for them to listen to you is a must. So don't feel like you failed if you cannot sometimes, get your dogs to do what you want them to do. Sometimes you just need a professional. I hope these pointers gave you a new perspective on training. Remember that training is a journey that you both go on together. While it's great if your puppy can high-five you, again, not the Dachshunds, the most important thing is the bond that you have between you and your puppy that gets much stronger with time. Thank you so much for listening to the Practical Pet Parenting Podcast. If you found this helpful, don't forget to follow, rate, or review. Whatever your podcasting app allows you to do, do it. You can also find me on Instagram at Indian Pet Vet and read more at practicalpetparenting.com. Much love to you and your pets, and see you next week.